Hail and good evening. Welcome to Arch City Comics. This is CG Jumpstart Between the Panels. I am Adam AF, aka the Light in the Loafers version of Razor Fist. Joining me as always, we have the master promoter of ComicsGate, Mr. Tinfoil Hat Nick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another show. Glad you're here.
Our special guest, the very special guest this evening, we have the man, he has many names. He is known by Soy Zorro, Per Berg, Plaster Harris, Narnar. It is Narwhal Books.
Hey, thanks for having me. I wish I was drunk. Maybe I'll make that a thing later.
Well, I will take a drink for you, sir, because I'm keeping it classy tonight.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a while since I've been on with you guys. We were talking before the stream, but it's last spring I came on your show, so I'm glad to be back.
It's good to have you back. It has been way too long. I mean, you were stream banned for a while there, and everybody was, I think, afraid to even like come close to you for fear that they might get their own channel taken down.
Yeah,
but it's good to have you back, man. It really is.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you brush your teeth?
No, but I ate some top ramen with salsa in it, like just top ramen and salsa, and it was pretty weird. My breath is weird right now. You're lucky. I might have coronavirus. I'm not sure. I'm feeling a little off.
Was there bats in your salsa?
No bats.
No bats. So I think you're safe then. I think it seems like bats are the carrier of this this coronavirus that is going around mostly China.
Yeah.
Just don't eat weird shit.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'm a little worried about that. I'm worried about catching the coronavirus. I got spit on by a homeless guy the other day in Portland. I'm like, the coronavirus, get away from me.
I'd be more worried about the hepatitis than the coronavirus.
I think so. Now we've got a lot of like books coming from China. Like, do I have to worry about that the coronavirus is attached to these books?
No, but you gotta worry about it shutting down Print Ninja because that's what's happened.
Yeah, I got in right at the end of that. I got my shipment from China, and mine was delayed just because of random China shit, like a month. But I got it like mid-January, and I just finished. We were talking about this earlier too, but I just finished mailing out all the books for both campaigns are now complete. So Earthbound is fully fulfilled. I mean, it has to. People will get them in like early next week or late this week. People will start getting their books.
Yeah,
you guys go back that second campaign, so it's coming up. It's still in demand for a little bit. So if anyone's watching this, you can still get one if you want, but in a couple of weeks maybe, and then I'll be mailing those out pretty promptly because it's just I'm all caught up. I'm at the end, and then it's going to be gone forever until next fall. Then it'll be available again with the Earthbound Part 2 campaign, which will happen next fall.
And I did put that in the link is in the description. If anybody has not got their copy, you heard it from Narwhal himself. You can order it and he will ship it to you. He is in that Vinny Tartamella stage right now where if you back it, it's coming right to you.
Yeah, I got my packing tape right here. Actually, it's kind of funny when I packed up 300 books, so it's like you get to 200 and you look at my stuff. I'm like, do I have enough supplies? Like I need plastic bags, cardboard boxes, packing tape. And I'm like, this is how much was left when it was all done. So I'm like, I still got some. I don't got to reload yet.
You need more packers then. We need to get
Let's get rid of this tape.
That's right.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not, right?
Yeah.
Hail to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us for another lovely evening. We've got, of course, the real Steve Dye hanging out with us. He says, I have the Pacifico virus.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's just weak beer. I don't think it's a virus. We got El Gargoyle, Nella Possessed. What's up? Nella was the first one here. Thank you very much. Panboy, the Vigilante, the Renegade. Captain F-Head, what's up, man? Who else we got hanging out? Z-Rust. Good to see you, man. Volt Cobalt.
What's up, everyone? What's up, Elgarg? I want the Molson Canadian virus. That's what I want.
The Molson Canadian virus.
Yeah, it makes me dress up in blackface.
I don't know if you want that virus.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know if that's the attention you actually want to get.
Yeah, that kind of stunt, maybe not. For the old Narwhal brand. I don't know what the Narwhal brand is. I was thinking it would be like, it's like at the Mafia, so we put people under our protection and then we put hits on people. But I mean, even that's a step too far.
Wow.
Instead of Orwellian, it would be Narwhalian.
Yeah,
So you could do that kind of left style.
Yeah. But all ComicsGate is under Narwhal Mafia protection. Not that we can actually do much, and it's kind of not, it's just me, except all the backers, I give them the business card and it says Narwhal Mafia card holder, whatever. You guys will get those soon when you get
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. I saw somebody who got their package and they showed it like opened up and everything. It looked really good.
Yeah, thanks. I learned like a few of the early backers were my guinea pigs, and I ended up sending like a second copy, but I got pretty good at packing, and getting it all coming in good condition and everything, pristine condition. The main trick is to put it in a plastic bag and tape the bag to the box. That's kind of a big part of it.
Yeah, there you go. You're the second person who I'll be getting the book from that's done that. That's cool. Like, do it with Scotch tape, I would say. I got one that was done with black electrical tape, and that ended up being
I think I know who you're talking. Was it double-sided tape?
Yep.
I know exactly the campaign you're talking about. That was a bitch to get out of the fucking package.
I mean, I appreciate all the effort that went into.
Dude, he had dowel rods taped to the inside of the package
and they were wrapped in like sticky tape as well. So like you couldn't get it open. Like I thought Vinny packed well. That was way beyond any kind of expectations. But it was like I was like having to go in and I tore the plastic on the original bag and board that it came in, so I had to get another one to put it in, but just trying to get it out. But I was more afraid that I was gonna like tear the book getting it out, you know what I'm saying?
I thank God I did not do an unboxing video on that book because it was a chore. He said, getting into Vinny Tartamella books can be a bit of a pain in the ass.
It's like a Chinese puzzle box because he puts the book in the mailer, and then he takes two mailers. He'll take another mailer or two, and he'll like cut them in half or cut them in a diagonal, and then he'll put those over them and tape, and then he'll put that in another mailer and tape. The dude he must get tape wholesale because he tapes up a book mailer like I do Christmas presents. Just got tons and tons of Scotch tape on it. I mean, I appreciate it. But it was like I wasn't real sure if I had gotten everything out of it. I had to go through everything like 4 or 5 times just to make sure I wasn't throwing anything away. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm nervous when people do box opening because it's like, what if it'll be like what happened to Ben Henderson with Ethan, where he opens it and it's just been like folded and weird. Do you remember that infamous unboxing video? I felt
I kind of do remember that. That was a while ago.
Yeah, and that was funny because it was Ethan, so there was a ton of viewers. And then he opens it and it's like been kind of folded weird. And Ben felt pretty bad about that. I guess he was doing his due diligence, but something happened. He was kind of bad luck. But
well, it looks like my my outfit is going over very well in the chat. Vault says, why does Adam look like a serial killer that knows the dude? I do know the dude, actually. Captain F-Ed says, is it just me? Or does Adam look like a lecturer right now? But I was trying to look good. I mean, Narwhal is here. Like, I'm trying to keep it classy. So I've got my Captain Love, All You Need Is Love shirt on. I got the collar underneath it. And, I wanted to match Narwhal's eyewear. So.
Oh, yeah. I like your tint you got there, too.
You got to go yellow. You got to go yellow. Absolutely. Ted Lehman, hail brother. He says, are there leather elbow pads on Adam's sweater? I don't have a sweater on. I don't own. Well, I do own a sweater, but it does not have leather elbow pads on.
I have those. I have a sweater that has suede elbow pads and on the shoulders as well. It's very warm. It's very northern England, Shetland Islandish type of a sweater. It's very warm. I love it. So
sounds like a good winter sweater.
It is.
Paloderma 1. Hail. Adam would look good with one of EVS's monocles. Yeah, I seen he got like a package of like 1,000 monocles the other day. He tried to order a monocle. I don't know why, but they ended up shipping him like an entire case. I have a feeling Moss had something to do with it.
Ethan said that he thought he was buying one expensive monocle, but he accidentally bought 1,000 not expensive monocles because he was drunk.
Okay.
I missed the part where he said that it was a drunk purchase. That makes a little bit more sense.
Okay. That's a UK military sweater I have. Okay. Well, whatever. Ooh. It's warm and it's highly fashionable, and I like it.
Hail Joe Ball. Adam looks straight up Bill the Butcher. Damn, do I really look like a serial killer?
You've always looked like a serial killer. It's nothing different.
Oh, okay.
Serial killers are handsome, so that's a good
most of the time. Yeah. I mean, you got to be able to lure in the. We're getting off topic. We're getting way off topic. Anyway, so we are here to talk about CG Jumpstart. If you don't know what CG Jumpstart is, it is the upcoming ComicsGate magazine that will rival what Wizard magazine was of the 1990s. 120 pages of original art, stories, serials, Indiegogo previews, interviews, and a whole lot more. And what we're going to talk about tonight is some of that whole lot more with Mr. Narwhal here. Narwhal, you don't have any art in this book, do you?
Maybe there's been discussions that I might do an Ask Narwhal session, and that might have a small illustration in it. I think we're going to do that. I haven't heard from Steve Dye and those guys in a bit, so it might be in the next one. But yeah.
So you might have a illustration, but you're not doing a story or anything like that. No,
not in this one. Yeah.
But what are you doing, sir?
For me, my ComicsGate career right now is fulfilling Earthbound, and then the kind of big thing that's of the moment is my next book, Foreign Agent, is gonna launch on Friday, so like real soon this week. And first day backers get an extra comic, so encouraging anyone who's like a Narwhal fan, if you're gonna back the first day if you can, because then you get the extra comic for free. It's gonna be like a zine at first. I might upgrade it, and I've been trying to think. I'm kind of up in there what I want to put in it. It might be like a deli, like Narwhal nonfiction story, or autobiographical story. It could be a short story from Earthbound that I have in my head that could be kind of interesting and fun, adding to that lore, but it'll be something kind of quality, whatever it is. It won't just be like a sketchbook. I mean, there might be some sketches in there, but there'll at least be some comic too. And
hold on, Steve Dye is saying that he sent you the questions, Narwhal. You're doing it.
Okay, sweet.
He asked Narwhal.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
That is what you're supposed to be here to talk about, is the Ask Narwhal section. I didn't think we had to go over that pre-show. I thought you understood what your part was in this magazine.
No, I need to check, Steve. I need to check my email. When did you send them? Anyway, but I'm in for that. I wonder what the deadline is too, because I got to do that soon if it's there. But I'm good for that. Narwhal's good for Narwhal's word. I touched tip to tip with a Narwhal once, and that's why I call myself Narwhal now.
Is that where the name comes from?
Yeah, I was swimming in the red salty sea, and I touched tip to tip with a Narwhal.
I had no idea there were narwhals in the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Steve says F, I don't know, ages ago. Jesus Christ, Narwhal.
Oh, damn. Sorry, guys.
Steve, just resend him. Resend the email. Christ almighty. This show's already gone so off the rails. It's ridiculous. So can you at least tell us what is Ask Narwhal?
It's where people, it's like an advice column that they have in some of the magazines or whatever. So it could be dating advice, fitness advice, diet advice, any kind of lifestyle or health advice. And like the Narwhal lifestyle, I have advice for everything, whatever it might be. Like one good way to work out sometimes is to just punch yourself, because you get sore and your muscles will have to heal that way, because you can get sore it tears your muscles up just by like lifting weights or doing push-ups, but you can tear your muscles just by punching yourself. So that's part of the Narwhal lifestyle.
Work out by just punching yourself. Apparently Steve's actually giving you a pass because you're a hero.
Oh, nice. Cool.
We also got Gat Hanzo in the chat. What's up, Gat? The mastermind behind the magazine.
Gat says, Narwhal, tell us how to dress. What you got to do is you got to be the exact same size as your father, and then hide outside behind his house. And when he throws clothes away, you catch them and then run away in the bushes. Do it every like 3 months or so. Check in on your father.
Hey, we got the Ghost of Morg. What's up, man? Long time no see. He says, narwhals in the Red Sea. Are you sure you weren't on acid? Hell,
Yeah,
brother.
because that is that's an Arctic sea creature. They only live in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
Well,
might have been an acid trip then.
yeah.
Either you weren't in the Red Sea or it wasn't a narwhal. It was just some fat dude with a boner.
Yeah. I did acid once and I got bored because I was high for too long, but it was fun for a while. I did it during the eclipse, like from 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I touched tip to tip in the Red Sea with the narwhal.
Mr. Biggons in the chat says, okay, we need to work on this advice.
Mr. Biggons gives real advice.
He does give real advice. Hey, Mr. E, check it out. Captain Love. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Nice.
So well, I can't even. So what's some other advice that you have to give us? You know, what else? What does the narwhal lifestyle entail?
Yeah. Like there's some like life hacks with the narwhal lifestyle. Like, I don't know, like one of them is you can make spaghetti just with top ramen, but then dump the water out. Like I just did that right before I got on with you guys. I ate some top ramen. I cooked some top ramen in the microwave, dump out the water, and then I put salsa in it. I put like half a can of salsa. So instead of using tomato sauce, I used salsa. And it tasted really weird. It tasted like extra strong nachos without chips, but kind of mushy. And so that's a life hack.
This sounds that sounds more of like, what do you do when you're poor for food?
Oh yeah. That's part of the narwhal, is to be frugal, to not spend.
To be frugal, okay.
That's a nice word. I'm not poor, I'm frugal.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, don't spend things on depreciating assets. So sell your car, and then maybe invest in just a little bit of Bitcoin so you can participate in that conversation in case anyone talks about it, like Smiller. But
really, I would not. I don't see it. No.
You're hurting yourself by saying invest in Bitcoin, because that's not a good thing to do. It's something that's really not tangible nor backed by anything is, in fact, not real. I don't care what the thing says on the TV or on the stock counter. It's not real. It has no value. It will go away.
It's monopoly money. Don't invest in monopoly money, man. Invest in comic books is what you should be investing in. Yeah,
that's true too, because that is it will eventually, and once the economy crashes or whatever, we'll have a comic backed economy. Instead of Fort Knox, it'll just be a bunch of comics.
I mean, that's basically what's in my safe right now. It's just a whole bunch of ComicsGate comics, first editions, first printings by people who've never put out books before. In 20, 30 years, when they're rich and famous, like you, they're going to be worth a ton of money, because everybody wants that first book with Narwhal's name on it.
Yeah.
Or Plaster Harris or Per Burger, whatever the fuck your real name is.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Yeah, I've been using the pen name Narwhal more and more, so that's kind of the way it's going. You know how that started was just like my YouTube channel and Google account was called Narwhal Books. So then when I logged on to Google Hangouts, it calls me Narwhal. So then people just started calling me Narwhal, and I was like, yes, let's continue to call me that.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta roll with it. I mean, it's a good name, Narwhal.
Yeah.
Good name, Narwhal. There's a lot of people I feel like maybe got stuck with their persona that they took on.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's what you're gonna be like known by now. All right.
Yeah, like sometimes that happens when you're making like new friends or like hanging out with a girl, like first date style. You end up, because you're both being so polite to each other, you end up talking about stupid shit, and there's no way to get out of it. You have to keep talking about it. Like I do remember once specifically, I was talking with a girl and we ended up naming my car. I was like, why did we name my car? Just because I was being really agreeable the whole conversation. She didn't know what was happening either. We were both like just blacked out, just saying stuff back and forth. Name your car. What's my car's name? And then I had to call my car by its name for the next like 6 months. And I was pissed about that.
Like, why did I name my car fucking unicorn? I'm Narwhal.
Yeah, only soy boys name their cars. Maybe that's not true. I used to be a soy boy. I still have remnants of a soy boy kind of thing going on. But
Are you still selling Soy Zorro t-shirts?
yeah, they're out there. They're on like Ardana's website. I think I forget what it's called. I'm not good at pimping it yet. I'm gonna pimp it more once I get a little bit bigger because I've found it's like fine. Like some of the Narwhal memes are out there, but it's not on that level where people are actually buying shirts yet. But if that happens, then I'll be hitting it up hard.
I forgot you were on there with Wyatt and Peter and Mandy. I would have dropped that. I would have conjured that up before we started the stream, but
Oh yeah, no worries. But yeah, I'm on that site with them. I'm part of that little mini alliance.
there it is. F-Head's got it. ComicsAvalon.com.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. Yep. Follow that. You can buy some Narnar merch.
You know what happened to me yesterday is I got a DM out of the blue from an old college kid that I guess we're sort of friends. I kind of forgot about him, but this has been like a year or more since this has happened because this whole era has kind of faded away. But he kind of came at me. He's like, "You're CG. CG, don't you know it has a bad reputation of? Are you a sexist, homophobe?" And I was like, "Oh, I haven't had this kind of conversation
this old
over a year."
chestnut.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was thinking like, let's just skip to the end and you call me a transphobe and quit talking to me. But I talked to him a little bit, and it is like kind of annoying though. But I told him, like I said, there's a word for what you're doing and it's called concern trolling. And you could just picture him. It's almost like he has that tone. And he's like typing in a way. It's kind of like an SJW type way. I tried to point that out to him, but it's almost like when it's lowercase capital, you know, like,
Oh God, yeah, it's supposed to be sarcasm, I think.
yeah, it's like, so I'm not trying to talk down to you or anything, but I just wonder where you're coming from. Could you explain what you think CG is to me? Because it's not driving what I think it is or something like that. And so I did it a little bit, but one of the things that came out of it when I was thinking about it was one interesting thing about CG. That's kind of new, like that no one saw coming, is just how important the YouTube and Twitter kind of aspect is. Like the personality is, it does kind of like, the artist is connected with the art, not in a way where we're like trying to use it to tear people down, but we used it more to like build people up. But there's this like kayfabe pro wrestling thing where all the artists are out there, you know, kind of vying for attention, trying to entertain as well as provide books. That kind of seems in some ways unpredictable that we would have seen that coming, or like that's kind of original and weird and kind of cool about CG. But then the necessariness of like being on YouTube, that creates just naturally, it's like you're just talking all the time. So it's kind of like a Howard Stern thing. So you're going to say stuff that offends some people. So then those people will just self-opt out of being your audience, I guess, but you're not really trying to run people off or gatekeep. But some like I told him like the perpetually offended will just kind of naturally go away from CG because we're on YouTube all the time, kind of saying what we think. And I don't know, I kind of like it basically.
I wish they would. There was the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl commercial that I liked the most was the Snickers commercial because they had the stupid hole, and in the stupid hole was where they put all the bad ideas. And at the very end, they like showed people who were taking pictures on a selfie stick and stuff fall in, and then you have Luis Guzman sitting there saying, "Hey, look, the Snickers hole worked," as the stupid people fell into the hole. I'm a big believer in social Darwinism. Just take off the health and safety stickers and just let it figure itself out.
Yeah. Like, what's it called? Like a little bit more, I don't know, where like super duper small government is one way to put it. But yeah, like
minarchism.
Yeah. Like people will self-opt in and out of things. I kind of feel that way about like why I don't really like feminism, because they keep trying to force girls into things, and I'm like, just let them do what they want to do, you know, like literally just let them do what they want to do. And they're like, no, it's cultural, you know, it's like societal impulses and pressures that are making them do things they don't actually want to do. And I'm like, you could just let them do what they want to do and relax, I think. But
I was gonna say, I thought we sealed this whole women's right things decades ago. You know, they're allowed to do what they want. They want to, whatever. But yeah, we've come back like full circle. Like, you've got these people who are fighting for women's rights, but actually telling them what to do. It doesn't make any
they're
sense.
not fighting for women's rights. They're fighting for their interpretation of women's rights. Like,
That's a good point.
if they were, like, if a woman chooses to go to college, have a career, awesome. If a woman chooses to stay home, be a homemaker, have kids, that's not cool, because that doesn't fit their version of feminism, even though the woman is still making the choice, or the guy. Either way, it's rules for thee, not for me. That's all about power, control, domination, that kind of stuff. They want it to be their way so they can feel superior, because we're dealing with a bunch of people who have massive inferiority complexes, to the point that they have to ruin other people's lives to make themselves feel good about themselves. Now, think about that for a second. You're that type of person who has to go out and make people feel like, just ruin their lives, because that's the only way you can feel better about yourself. That's pretty sad, if you ask me.
Yeah, your boy Zach had a good kind of point about that. Is like, you can tell like by what people get offended by, because a lot of times you just don't get that offended, if you kind of are, like, if you call a girl a thought and she gets offended, that kind of means a little bit more that she is a thought than if she doesn't get offended. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I absolutely agree with that.
And there's a lot of these kind of people that they're kind of not ready for CG because they're too sensitive, I guess. Like, and that's where I remember maybe me circa 2008, maybe some of the things would make my ears burn, but like now I'm so glad that I'm not like that. I'm so glad that nothing is really, so you can be so much more chill and have so much more fun. But yeah, you could just drop a random kind of SJW in and they go, "What? You're talking about women's rights? Like it says it so much needs to," and like they get so like worked up, I've heard it be called a Pavlovian response. Have you guys heard of that word?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of where they're not really in control of it at all. They're just like reacting kind of.
Yeah. We got Miss Angela Pearlfish in the chat. She says, "Listen, brothers, not all women are bad."
Thanks, Angela. That's what I kind of told the dude I was arguing with. I was like, I hang out with, I think this might be one I wrote and then deleted because I wrote some long ones where I was more mean to him. But I was like, I'll hang out with girls that are like cool. And if girls are being bitchy about feminism and call me a sexist, I just won't hang out with them. There's plenty of options for everyone to do what they want.
Agreed.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you definitely you hit on quite a few points there. There are some people that they might believe in, what CG is about, but they still have that innate response to just get offended over stupid shit.
It's because their balls haven't dropped yet. Once that happens, all that goes out the windows. Once they drop finally, and they form a protective coating of brass, steel, bronze, or something like that, all of that ear burning and all that other utter nonsense just goes away, because you stop caring about what other people say, think, or anything like that. Once you can reach that Zen level where it's all sticks and stones, it's the greatest thing in the world, because that's when you're in the CG zone, baby. When it's all sticks and stones, you're in the zone. It's awesome. Yeah.
Part of it, like, I kind of think there's some like ego aspect. I wonder, like, a ground zero test patient would be like George Alexopoulos. Like this anti-CG type who would kind of agree with us, had moments of being on our side, flipped because he couldn't handle the heat of just a little bit of internet, fun and games, basically. This is the way men are supposedly scientifically men bond via giving shit to each other. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And like
my best friends, if we don't make fun of you, then we probably don't like you.
Yeah, that's kind of how you test someone early on or something. And all you got to do is like laugh at yourself and kind of have fun with it. But George Alexopoulos was not able to do that.
Yeah, he cannot laugh at himself.
Yeah. No, and he doesn't like other people laughing at him either.
No.
That's when he turns into weaponized pussy rage, and no one likes weaponized pussy rage.
Yeah.
He's just pumped.
Yeah, and Doug's a little bit like that. It's kind of like the big ego thing. People with big egos, they don't like it if their egos are attacked a little bit.
Nope.
And I have the smallest ego in the world. I don't give two shits.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. But I said that on War Campaign, and Ro had an okay point. He said, "Are you saying we don't have egos, brother?" And I was like, "No, it's okay to have an ego, I guess." But
there's a difference between having pride and an ego. There's a difference between pride and ego. Like, you can be the greatest colorist in the world, and that's not something that you say. That is something that is said to you and it's based on your body of work and the stuff that you've done. Like saying, or you can say that you're a great carpenter because you, or a furniture maker because you make excellent furniture, and having pride in that, that's called real pride. And then you have ego, which is like false pride, where you think that, but you have nothing of work or substance to back that up with. And when you have the false pride or the ego like that, you're very fragile. Everything's fragile. Your whole world is fragile because you don't have anything holding it up to support it. And it only takes one little thing to crack that glass, and that's it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, we got Ryan Miller Art. Hail, brother. He says, hail CG, hail Mr. Biggons, ball busting for days.
I miss Ryan Miller Art. I've streamed with him a few times. He's really friendly. He's a good guy.
I have to get him on. He's always hanging out in the chat. You should come on this side sometime, brother. I wanted to backtrack a little bit to something Miss Pearlfish said. Again, I think I'm in love. I just keep thinking about how I can snatch Renfamous's wig off and kick Pocket Pussy in his face. Hail, sister. Please do so.
Yeah, that's a good one. So quickly too, with some of this thoughts of CG, not CG, anti-CG, CG, there's like some litmus tests in there, and they're kind of funny. So one of them, like a big giant litmus test, it's kind of in the culture wars, is boobs. So like CG is like pro boobs, and then like SJWs are anti boobs. That's like obviously kind of an oversimplification, but you'd be surprised.
No, it's the Boobmageddon.
Yeah, you'd be accurate that is, and nothing else matters. You can actually split very accurately just with that single question. There's other ones I wonder about. Like I wonder about the Second Amendment. I kind of feel like CG's pro gun and SJWs are anti gun, and even though like that's a little more political. Obviously, CG's pretty diverse politically, but I feel like everyone's likes guns and CG.
I mean, like boobs. I like guns. I like explosions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, all of the above.
I like fast cars.
Fast women.
Yeah.
SJWs like slow cars. Maybe not. They like, but yeah, they
like electric cars.
Yeah, like the vegetable oil van or something.
Man, you only get to live once. Why hold back and try to live in under a rock, or hold back in any way, man? Just live your life.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah, or like if you do it, then you go on and shame people and act holier than thou. That's kind of like what I picture, like an SJW being a little more like that. Oh, by the way, at the deli, I saw a guy came up once, and he said he's gonna order some meat, and he's like some roast beef or something, and he's like, how are these cows treated? Do you know how these cows were treated that this was cut from? And I was like, well, we got this all natural beef. And he's like, yeah, but how were they treated though? And I was like, first off, how would I even know that question? But then the lady next to him in line, she's like, I think he would want this one. This is the all natural one. If you're trying to be, like PETA style or whatever, this is the one you want to get. And he's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll come back. My ex-girlfriend was PETA. And then he walked away. And I was like, oh, so that stuck with you? You dated a girl who was PETA, and then for the rest of your life, you're like kind of a weirdo guy asking how cows are treated before you buy stuff?
No, fuck that. Like if I got a girl and she's smoking hot and she's got her way of thinking, I might succumb to some of that thinking. But as soon as that pussy's gone, those thoughts are gone.
Yeah, you snap out of it.
Oh. Yeah, you do. You're just like, ugh.
I need
Shit, I was under pussy hypnotism.
Yeah. Damn it, she tricked me into liking cows for 2 years. I was really into cows. What the fuck was wrong with me?
Exactly. Hey, Gigadeath comic book. Hail, brother. He says, CG is pro boobs, pro guns, pro good comics, and of course, Russia.
Yeah, pro Russia, pro Ukraine. Whatever.
CG is worldwide, man. This is...
Yeah, that's something I told him too. And sorry, you go, then I'll go.
No, I was going to say that. All I was going to say is this is the world famous Art City Comics.
Nice, yeah. It's so different because this guy kind of concern trolling me. He was saying like, why join a gross movement when you can join a local like movement with people who support you and you make good friends, but you alienate them by joining CG. Why would you do that? And to me, it's like a little bit of a difference between if you're taking comics seriously or not. Like, you want the worldwide audience. You'll do everything you can to like be successful in comics. That means there's certain things you got to do. You got to start a YouTube channel. You got to hang out with worldwide. You don't exclude anyone. Like Michael Jordan used to say, like, Republicans buy shoes too. It's like, you're not the one gatekeeping anyone. You want everyone. That means you want CG. Like, because there are even people like who are not necessarily CG, but you can tell they're still cool. Like Peter Samedi is kind of like that. You know, like he kind of gets it. He wants as many audience members as possible. And if you're just like playing house in the local scene, selling like 20 comics at a Comic-Con and having drinks after with your buddies, that's like almost a different thing. You know, there should be two different words for it. You're not both comic people. Like, we're the comic people. We're the indie comic scene right now. CG is.
That's always an interesting point. Peter Samedi is one of those guys that he might not ever say that he is CG, but he is 100% CG.
Yeah, that's something
100%. It's the way he goes about his business and the way he does things. And he is definitely CG, whether he says it or not, which is fine.
Yeah,
you know, he's running a business.
Yeah, and the way SJWs react to him, he's CG. That's something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they fucking hate him because of he's got good morals. He's got values. He puts out good comics at a super affordable price. You know, $1.50 for a comic book. We haven't seen that shit since the early 90s.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome. And it's cool. Clint's going to go through Alterna now for Downcast. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of a CG connection there. That alone it means Peter is not like, he's not blacklisting us. Anyone could do that if your book's good enough and he likes it and wants to do it. That's an option that's available to us.
Absolutely. We got Wooster, Hail Wooster, in the chat. He says, I'm very amused by the new talking point that Zach isn't CG, but maybe that is just coming to terms that you can hate Ethan and still support CG projects. Silver lining. Well, there's all kinds of interesting talking points in that comment, because you can definitely hate Ethan and still support CG. There's nothing that says you can't do that. I mean, Ethan's probably your best friend, though, if you want to be CG. He's got one of the biggest platforms to get on.
And like Ethan says, it's like people are CG even if they don't claim they're CG. Like, CG is kind of this, it's almost like the broader indie market that is attacked by SJWs is kind of one way. It's like the people Marvel hate. Like CG, it kind of behooves us all to support and help each other, which is funny too, because the situation with anti-CG is just getting weirder and weirder, because they're, now they're getting more and more into deplatforming, getting more SJW. They're buddying up to the old actual SJWs that we used to war with. Like, I find it like, it's a little bit surreal, like, especially like with Edwin, and I'm mad. I've kind of already went through the phase of being mad at them and done with them. But it was funny, with Earthbound, like, Edwin backed Earthbound, and he backed it on his birthday, and he tweeted and he said it was his birthday present to himself to back my book. And I was like, man, that's so sweet. I have this sweet memory of him, and he ruined my good memory of him by being so crazy. But yeah.
No, crazy is an understatement. What I've noticed with a lot of these people, especially with like they say that the quote unquote free speech absolutists that they said that they are, yet they want to go out and deplatform people constantly, is they are they're only for free speech as long as it's their kind of speech. If you do anything that contradicts what they're saying or contradicts the point they're making, they'll start yelling at you, over you if you're on stream with them. If you're talking to them on Twitter or whatever, they'll just start randomly making up lies or something like that. I mean, and that is an old tried and true rules for radicals out of the Zelensky playbook right there. You shout it down until the opponent will no longer shout back. It's that kind of deal. That's an old school tactic, and they're using those same things, which are total SJW tactics against us. And it's just like, I'm just sitting there most days. I just sit there and look at them. I'm like, dude, do you not realize what you're doing? Do you not realize that you are the very thing that you're sitting here railing against now. And it's like, I was listening to, I was going through and listening to something that Mike did yesterday, Mike Miller, and the entire stream was me, I, me. He
Yeah,
heard
we were talking about that.
Yeah. And it was just like, I was like, wow, man. I mean, where do you have to go in your head and in your life or whatever to like get neutered like that? Because when you start crying like that constantly, you're just, you're gone. That's just the end of it, because you don't have the ability or want to pick yourself back up. You're looking to blame somebody. So you've accepted your victimhood and you've become a victim now. And that's the worst thing that you could possibly ever be as a victim. Don't ever let anybody ever make you a victim, period. Yep. Because the minute that you do that, that which controls you owns you. And the minute that you become a victim, you let somebody else start controlling you. And that's just not happening.
Nailed it, sir. Hail Caesar in the chat. Hey, everyone.
Caesar in the chat. Hail.
Narwhal.
Hail
Hell
Caesar.
yeah,
Hail
Narwhal.
Caesar.
Hail Caesar. Welcome, sir. Good to have you. Yeah, man. I mean, you guys, I mean, you guys both nailed it. The thing that I look at when I think about CG is that it's more than just indie comics. In indie comics, everybody's just out there making their books. Whereas if you're a part of CG and you're really CG, you're helping somebody else. We're all helping each other. Me and Nick, we do promos. Nick retweets and helps creators who have never put a book out daily get their stuff seen by people in hopes that when they do launch their campaign, that it's successful. And you've got other guys out there like Joe Ball and Sim who do whatever they can to help these newcomers thrive and survive in this market. So when I think of CG, I think of it like that, not just making indie comics that are free of the SJW bullshit, but it is, and I know some people hate to hear this, but it is more of a community and a group of people, a large group of people that all want to see each other succeed and create this viable option that is better than what the mainstream is right now.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking CG has all been red pilled to a certain degree as far as like being targeted by SJWs. I think a lot of people might understand kind of a little bit what that's like, especially Ethan getting into it has that experience where they were really going hard at him. And like your boy Zach says, their goal is to get you homeless and to kill yourself. They're worse than ISIS. All three of those things are true, and you can see it, like how they act. And that's why it's also crazy to see anti-CG stepping in that direction, because it's real, like it's like too high stakes. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? You're acting kind of evil, like stop it. But yeah, sorry, let me have a sip of coffee. What were you guys saying?
Well, it's like I've noticed that with like even like saying that if you're in CG and you say that you're into indie comics or an indie comics creator or whatever, there are other people who take that as they see that as kind of like, I'm not an indie creator, I'm a CG creator. There is a difference. When you are in CG, you are held to a different standard than say a regular old indie comics creator or something like that, because you're holding a mantra. You're saying, you're planting a flag and saying, I am this. I will not give up anything or any more or anything like that. I'm going to be CG. I'm going to be what ComicsGate is and what ComicsGate expects me to be. And I'm not going to go out there and be these indie folks who can just, go off and do whatever and still be talk trash and be trash to the customers and just over a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw somebody yelling at somebody else the other day because they thought their tone was wrong in a tweet.
Oh my God. Yes. That? Yeah.
I mean,
it was a customer asking a question about the campaign that they backed. And this certain person was the rudest that I have almost ever seen a creator be towards a fan for no reason. I can understand being rude towards a fan that's being rude towards you. But this customer was just asking him what was going on because he was seeing something different on the Indiegogo page than what the person was posting on their timeline. And he was like, why does this look so different? And this person completely kind of went off on him and really, I mean, just absolutely disrespected him just for asking a question, which that's not what CG is about. Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar.
Hi guys.
Oh, Caesar.
Hi.
What
Welcome,
a pleasant surprise. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. It's funny because I was just talking to Zach about stuff, and then he's just like, "Did you see Narwhal's book?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got one." He goes, "There's no way he made a profit on that." He's like, "There's no fucking way." He's like, "That book is absolutely gorgeous." I was like, "I'm telling you, dude." He's like, "I'm doing a review on it." And I was like, so I was just thinking about Narwhal, and I saw you were on, so I wanted to come in and hang out with you boys if that was okay. You know,
absolutely. You're always welcome here, sir.
Thanks. Yeah. What are you up to, Ethan?
I'm still doing these sketch covers, and I'm never gonna stop. And it's so frustrating. I feel like I'm in a cage. Like Narwhal. I don't know if you do busy work like this. Like doing sketch covers is busy work. It's repetitive. And when it comes to the money, let me make it clear. The money's great, okay, but I'm in a creative, I'm in an angry creative mood right now where I just want to do something magnificent. And I announced Cyberfrog Wreck Planet stretch goal today. It's $2 billion stretch goal.
Oh yeah,
which is we are going to construct a Death Star, planet destroyer. We're going to use it specifically. It's going to be able to destroy planets, but we're going to aim it at back holes. We're gonna blow these people off the map, and I believe we can do it. I believe we can raise $2 billion on Cyberfrog 2.
That's your angry creativity coming out.
I'm like, let me loose. I feel like I'm being held back. But I'm getting these covers done, and I told Andrew, I was just like, I'm staying down here all night. I'm not gonna live stream, do a performance live stream. I'll do kind of a hangout thing, but I am gonna get these things done because Wrecked Planet needs to happen. And I got Kyle. I'm sorry for talking too much. As soon as I come in here, I'm like jibber jabber. But I got Kyle Ritter. I got Eric Weathers redoing the first two Cyberfrog books from Hall of Heroes, which is just it's so fun. We got nice cleaned up files of the artwork, and I've got them for warts and all. Right, I'm just going to print them in black and white as is. That's the point of the hardcover. But then I went, what would Robert Kirkman do? Robert Kirkman, creator of Walking Dead, would remaster them, fix them up, and then re-release them. That's what Brian Pulido would do too. So I sent them over to Kyle, and I said, Kyle, color these. And he said, yeah, I will.
Nice.
2 weeks later, nothing. Kyle, what do you, and then I see him on, I see Kyle on Twitter going, hey, I'll take some commissions. I'm like, wait, whoa. So I said, what do you need money? I was like, here. And I paid him up front for the first issue of Hall of Heroes. I just paid him the whole thing. I said, whatever it is, here you go. Sit on this. Now color me. I take priority. If you're not working on Starblade, you're working on Cyberfrog, as long as you have something. He's like, okay, happy to get a big chunk of money. So now he's turning in Cyberfrog pages for Hall of Heroes. Eric Weathers is going to do his own version of the Cyberfrog font. And he is, he's going to re-letter it because I hand lettered it at age 19. So he's going to re-letter it, and we're going to release this thing with a shiny foil new cover, and both of them, issues 1 and 2. And it's going to be great.
Is this warts and all, or is this different?
It's different. It's in addition to warts and all. So warts and all is going to be all of the material untouched. It's like you're going to get this shitty black and white hand lettering that I did. It's in the title. It means
warts and all.
Right.
It is as is.
Right. So, but I mean, look, I've got all these black and white comics from the 90s that I own the rights to. I mean, that's a cool thing. Might as well just get Kyle to color them up and re-release them as brand new comic books to people. It should be fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That is really cool. We actually, Simon Potier he's doing something very similar with his old Nat the Merc stories that he did. And
what is it called? Nat the Merc?
Nat the Merc. And he's launching that. He's going to have a short story in CG Jumpstart, and he's going to have a campaign launching later this year. But coming up in a few months, he's releasing what he is calling Tales of the Natverse, which is a reprint of all the older material. And he's kind of taken a page out of your book, with warts and all, where he didn't want to touch it. He was just going to release it as it is. He didn't want to spend too much time on it. And we kind of convinced him that, hey, at least re-letter this, you know, because like you said, he did it himself. It's a little, I don't want to say sloppy, but it's not perfect. And it's amazing how much just re-lettering something can really drive home and really make a punch, you know, not even just recoloring the whole thing, but you get an infinite improvement just by re-lettering something. And I believe he's having Phil Diaz, Zade Comics doing Magic Cop. I believe he's the one that's going to be re-lettering it. So that's going to be launching, I think, in March, if I'm not mistaken.
Magnificent. Love it.
Yeah,
the Diaz boys are I've watched their lettering, like them do their lettering streams and stuff like that. All of that stuff, like lettering, coloring, drawing, being able to write, is like magic to me. Because I'm just somebody out here I'm basically a carny barker. All I do is just go out and, sell books and stuff. But like being able to watch the magic actually happen, because people say no one likes to watch the sausage getting made. That's because they've never watched a comic book getting made. Like, to me, that is just absolute magic. Like watching all that stuff come together. It's just great.
Yeah.
I got to think so. Narwhal, that's kind of what we started as, I mean, we were just like, my attitude was, look, these people already paid for these books. It's the difference of, ordering a comic book from or buying a comic book from the comic book store and actually investing in the creation of a comic book. If you don't want spoilers, that's cool. Like, don't watch the videos. But for everyone else, this material is already yours. So, as soon as you plunk down your $25, you have a right to see the pages as they come in. And to see the creation of the comic book itself. I think that's unique, and I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. You helped pioneer that. You and Zach. It's really original of CG to kind of invent this model where it's so personal, the relationship with the fans and the creators. And I've got benefit of that through you guys. But it's like I have fans for the first time, and it's like awesome. It feels so good, Like, I don't know, it's cool. I just finished sending out 300 books, so I fulfilled all of the second campaign and first one's fulfilled. So the last 3 weeks, that's all I've been doing. It's repetitive work, but just packing and shipping books. But now I'm good. I'm done. And like, it's still in demand for a little bit longer, but then so I'll mail a few more. Like maybe Zach's review will get me a few more sales. Then I'll mail those out. Then it'll be done.
I would think so. Yeah.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that book because I've seen like that thing's a monster at 148 pages, and with the way that you do coloring and the lighting effects and everything like that, and like you're still my favorite colors in ComicsGate, so I cannot wait to have that book in my hand. I've wanted it for so long, and I'm so glad that I'm actually it's going to be here soon.
Yeah, thanks. I was technically late too. I did the classic CG thing where I underestimated how long it would take, because I finished all the art like 1 month after the campaign closed. Like that was all on time. It was going well, but then the process of ordering prints, proofs, and I went through a China printer, different than Print Ninja, just a different one, but they're called like LCD Print Solutions or something. But that took like a year. That took so long, and it kept being delays and stuff. And then so I was like, sorry guys, but now it's all good. It's all good, and everyone's happy. So yeah, sweet.
Yeah, that's always like the big thing where like everybody's like, your book's late or whatever. I'm like, and I tell them all the time, it's always going to be quality over quantity. I will wait for a quality book and be happy with it. Like I'll give that creator a little bit of a benefit of a doubt if they will keep me updated, one, and two, I know that something great is coming. But if it's something like you get from the big two where it's like the character's not even the same character anymore, but it's just like this repetitive garbage and propaganda stuff that's put out constantly over and over and over again, then I'm not going to be happy that I have to even pay money for it, much less wait for it. And then everybody's always like, why would you want to pay so much money for a comic book? Because these aren't just comic books. These, like Mr. Canales says, these are concierge connoisseur books. These are like books that were, I know this is a little ironic, but they're like books before printing presses were around. These were handmade, you know what I'm saying? Handmade and put together and stuff like that. And that's,
I look at all these as handcrafted books.
Exactly.
They're put together with love and care. And I always, any first campaign like yours, Narwhal, yours too, Ethan, anytime you go out there first first go around, you don't really know what you're getting into. But the next time, you know what to do to make it better, you know, to push your date out or not to launch the campaign until this day. So it's, you know, done in that time. And there's a lot of other guys who have, there's a lot of guys that have delivered on time, if not early. So that's such a weak argument from the anti-crowd that, all these books are late and they're overpriced.
Yeah, and they don't give them shit for them being late. So yeah, they're annoying.
No, it's all that hypocrisy. It drives me up a wall.
It's
what it really does.
Rick was saying, rules for thee and not for me.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So since we're talking about Jumpstart, I know, Ethan, you mentioned a while back that you were considering doing like some kind of trading card exclusive for the magazine.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to be invited and considered to be a part of this because I really support the idea and I want it to work. And if there's anything I can do to help out, you know, I'd be happy to. Consider me just, you know, one of the image creators with Narwhal. If you guys are, Wizard Magazine in 1990, 91. When did Wizard start? I think around
91. If I'm not mistaken.
Like, you guys have access to us. I'm here to support you and help you out, just like all of us are. And anything that I can do to make the magazine more fun, I'm here to help.
Yeah, Ethan, the favors you do for people are so cool. It's so cool that you do art, like, because art takes forever. Like, it's even, I remember if I was in your shoes, I would maybe do less, you know. I don't know. If everyone was asking me to draw stuff for them all the time, you say yes to everyone. It's amazing.
I just want to, I can't do everything. I owe, Oddity, those guys, a Cyberfrog piece, and I'm fucking buried behind like sketch covers. And when I sit down and try to do like something else that's actually well drawn, I can't right now. I'm just so in the mode of producing. But it's like, yeah, I want to be done this so that I can do more for other people. In the meantime, Narwhal, I ask everybody for favors, and they do favors for me. I pay them, but I still consider them favors. And speaking of which, I gotta hit you up about something.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
Just a little gig. I mean, I don't know if you know, I'm doing a Cyberfrog card game. That's gonna come out with warts and all. And I got all these cards. Kelsey Shannon is doing 2 of them that look great. Carlo Rowe just turned in. Well, it's not finished yet, but he showed me most of it. He's doing one. Carlo Neal's doing one. And those are the ones that I've seen so far. But I've assigned out a bunch. I need to get Kanan and Malin on theirs. But would you do one like full color?
I would love to. Yeah.
It'll be something like, I'll say, okay, this card is, Tail Whip or something like that, and it's Salamandroid's action. So you would draw. I mean, that's not what it'll be, but it'll be something like that. And then you have to draw the action of Salamandroid or Cyberfrog doing the thing on the card.
Nice. I grew up playing Magic the Gathering, so I can kind of picture like that, or Pokemon cards or whatever.
Yeah, I used to make Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right, I'm excited about it. Let's hook up after the show here and get you on one of those. They're kind of tight-ish deadlines, Narwhal. I mean, I would love to have it by, I'm telling everybody Friday, but I told them that last week, and I've been too lazy to assign out every card that I need. How busy are you? Can you do a Cyberfrog card in like 3 or 4 days?
Yes, I can do it.
All right, I'll take care of you. I'll pay you well enough to make it worth your while. But
have you never watched him on Drawn and Backhold? This dude he's a speed demon.
Yes, but Narwhal, you are going to be amongst the greatest, where you belong, ComicsGate artists around. So no pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Kelsey Shannon's card. Do you want to see Kelsey's card?
Yeah.
Can you show it?
This will be good motivation.
I think so. Yeah. I always show this to people. I'm like, this is what Kelsey did. So get your game up.
Ramp it up.
All right, hold on. Yeah, I think this is it. He sent me a bunch of versions of it. I think this is the finished version. So, all right, let me share my screen. And there.
Holy cow.
My God.
Cool. Wow.
Is that Tail Whip?
I think he thought it was. It's actually a card called Devastation.
That's nice.
That Devastation works.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Shannon's he's a master, man.
You know what I was gonna mention, Ethan, that kind of this path you're doing that I really like too is you're expanding and being creative with merchandising kind of beyond comics. And I'm kind of really excited about that too. And that's kind of the Image kind of mirroring that ish, like Todd McFarlane moving into toys and stuff like that. You know, it seems like it's a good power play that will benefit the comics in the end, just growing, you know, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my worry is, I want to make sure people have enough story that they feel invested with the characters. But I mean, you got to get started. I think once Cyberfrog 2 comes out, people are really going to be sunk into the book when they read that. And you got to get started on this stuff early so that it's ready. People are going to read Cyberfrog Wreck Planet and say, I need product. What can I have now? Well, we got a card game. We're going to have action figures. We're going to have more posters, things like that. And that's that. You got to start planning all that stuff now, Narwhal, guys. You know.
Yeah, that Jay
back?
Lee poster that you put out was absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, thanks. We're gonna have. I finally got the T-shirt designs. I'm trying to get it together this week, but we're doing. Let me show you the T-shirt too. For this, we need more Cyberfrog T-shirts, and that's my wife keeps telling me that. Let me see. There you go. This is going to be one of the designs that we're going to use the Jay Lee T-shirt for.
Sweet.
Get wrecked, dude. Yes,
yeah, that's
absolutely.
Awesome.
So we're keeping busy. You know, I mean, let's create product. Let's do stuff. Let's make ComicsGate people excited about stuff. So, you know.
What about that backlit Salamandroid poster that I saw? Is that going to be available at any time soon? Because that thing was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm putting that up. That's actually being produced right now, and I'm worried about it. Look, here's the thing about it that I think is going to freak people out. Like when you do a blacklight poster, the colors are flat necessarily. Like they need to be flat fluorescent colors because it's meant to react with black light. And people are seeing that beautiful like Kyle Ritter colors on the poster. And when you see the final blacklight poster, it's going to be black velvet flocked, all the black areas black, and then like fluorescent colors in the place of what Kyle put down. Mr. Biggons, nice soy boy model. Yeah. I didn't do that. I don't know who that guy is. That's just the proposal. So, but in any case, so I'm doing that, and in case people don't like the way that looks, I'm also printing up 500 of that piece just as a big movie poster. With Kyle's colors intact. Nice. So you'll have a choice, and they're at the press right now. As soon as I get them, I'm going to put them up on a team up and line art remainder campaign. This drove me nuts. Like somebody pointed out, they're like, you're not the biggest crowdfunded comic of all time. You're not. In 2012, there was the book called Order of the Stick. That was on Kickstarter, and it was a compilation of webtoons about stick figures, and it raised $1.2 million. And I was like, motherfucker! I'm at 1.6, I think, or like 1.06 million. I'm like, okay, all right. So
you got a new goal. You got a new goal.
Yeah,
I need $140,000, and I won't quit. We're gonna get there. So, I'm gonna do that, and then the other, we're going to do a new version of Blood Honey for the Wrecked Planet campaign, which is going to be gold wraparound cover with 1998 intact. Like, so it'll be. We're going to take out the whole back section with all the cool like promo stuff, and we're just going to put Cyberfrog 1998 full sized in there. So it's the complete. We'll call it just the complete Cyberfrog Blood Honey with that gold embossed cover. It's Cyberfrog in 3D. Like, you'll see, but it's going to be a neat product. We're working on putting that together too.
Yeah. Gad Hanzo says it doesn't count.
Oh, yes, it does.
No, I've had that discussion with the stick people before. That is a web comic that they put up on the web, and then they just transferred it over to a comic setting. That is not a true comic book. I'm sorry, it's not. I will have this discussion with anybody. A true comic book is something that was done for a visual medium to be put on paper like a comic book, not for something that was originally done to be put up on the web.
Yeah, Gat saying stick figures don't count. I agree with you, but that's fine. But let's just blow that discussion out of the water and make it irrelevant. You know what I
just
mean?
beat it anyway, in spite of that.
Yeah, and fuck it, we'll beat that too. I Cyberfrog has to be the biggest. It has to be. And I saw, I saw Earthworm Jim coming, and I was nervous. I don't know why Doug took his campaign down. If he had just left it up, he would have beat my ass. But
he took his Kickstarter down.
No. He took his
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
He was cruising on that, and he would be at 1.5 million, I think, if he'd left that thing up. But he took it down and then relaunched it on Kickstarter, and I was like, "Oh boy, here we go. There goes my record." No.
Yeah, I bet he thought that you get boosts at the beginning and end of campaigns, so he's like, "I'm going to stop it and then start another one." But it's like that is counterintuitive. It actually you want to leave it rolling.
Yeah, you want to leave it rolling, and again, Kickstarter doesn't seem to care. I think the truth is everybody that wanted that book got it, but I mean, I'm in for competition. I like that Doug did that because I was just like, oh, good. Like if he does kind of surpass me, I'm gonna have to get my ass in gear. But he needed $250,000 to surpass me, and he's nowhere near that. And I think Cyberfrog's going to be just fine.
Nice. How much of your like day job these days is like being a CEO, figuring out these new campaigns and the new products and stuff?
I go into meetings every single day about this stuff every day, and it's distracting a little bit, but ultimately 2020 has to be a breakout year for Cyberfrog. So going in to talk about the toys, going in to talk about the card games, posters, trading cards, all that stuff. They're all different conversations that have to be had, meeting with different people. So, it's part of the job now. I would love to just blow up and just let somebody else handle all this so I can only focus on the comics.
Just hire somebody else.
Yeah. Maybe 2021 or 2022. That's sweet though. I bet to some degree it might be fun for now, like going to meetings all the time.
It's okay. It's exciting. It's exciting. Right now, like Andrea is kind of stepping up. My wife is stepping up, and she fulfilled pretty much all by herself the second campaign, the second chance campaign, the first second chance campaign for the Salamandroid Chromiums. I signed them all. We bagged and boarded them together. We kind of boxed them up. And she got the whole program together for stamps.com. She got those things out the door, and there has been no complaints. Everyone's getting their, hey, I got a notification, my book's on the way. And then a day later, it's in their hands. Everyone's excited about the fact that we're using Gemini mailers. Now, Andrea could step up and become kind of like, more important in making decisions, like, having these conversations about posters and trading cards and stuff on my behalf. But of course, she's also a full-time mom. So, it's tricky, but she's got the potential to do that. And
she's basically the VP of All Caps Comics right now.
She is the co-president of All Caps Comics. You better believe it. That woman is saying that she is my equal. Is an understatement. She's.
They say behind every great man is a great woman, and behind every great woman is Joe Biden. Just breathing.
Do they say? I've never heard the second part before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's terrific, and that's what you need. You need a little bit of help, because I don't want to do this all by myself. One of the dangers of being a comic book artist is in a relationship. Well, there are a bunch of things, but it's bad for your health. Sitting and drawing for hours and hours is terrible. It takes a toll on your health. But the other thing is it's also isolating. And if you leave your partner out of it, there can be a divide. I learned that. It's like I'm on my second marriage. My first marriage was not helped at all by the fact that I was kind of like isolated with my job, had to go to conventions every weekend. And had to go by myself because she couldn't go. She's at home with the kids, it's awful. It's terrible. So get your partner involved as much as you possibly can, like Billy and Debbie Tucci do. Perfect example.
The 2 days that I was fulfilling packing books, for 2 days I hired people, and those days were so much funner because I just hired friends, but we'd just hang out. I was like, man, this is so much better than doing it myself.
Yeah, doing that by yourself is very tedious and monotonous. I mean, stuffing envelopes is quite possibly one of the most, like, I did it for like I was interning at a at a political campaign, and by the time I was done with it, I wanted to beat my head up against the wall. Because you're just like, it's so repetitive and it's the same thing and there's no one there and you're just like, oh, it's crazy.
Well, you feel like that's this is like work that somebody else could be doing so that you could continue to do something creative,
Yeah.
So it's good if you can to hire. I mean, I've got somebody in the chat asked Angela Profish says, Hunter have any interest in comics, Ethan? No, he works on cars. He has no interest in comic books at all. But Hunter really helped. I said, I'll pay you $1 for every package you pack up, and he was like, sweet. He spent all night. He made $350. That was cool. Like having him be around to help, do some packing is really good. And if you can offload that manual kind of labor on someone else, you really should.
That's what kids are good for.
Yeah.
No, but man, I can attest to the, get your spouse involved, because I mean, even myself, as I'm a small YouTuber, small comic book creator. My wife, she got mad at me because I wasn't involving her, and I was like, babe, I didn't think that like you'd even be interested. She said, but this is your life.
Yeah.
This is what you want to do. It's like, of course I want to be involved in it. So yeah, absolutely. Anybody out there who has a spouse and if this is your dream, include your significant other in your dream. Absolutely.
Yeah. Check and make sure that, invite them in, because be like, look, this is our future. This is our business. You should be a part of it. Let them in as much as you can. I do recommend that. Mm-hmm. I think for the long-term health of your business, but also for your marriage.
For your marriage. Yeah. Like I said, like she was mad. She was very mad at me that, I wasn't, telling her what was going on live streams and things like that. I was like, babe, I didn't really think you cared. It's like, Of course I care. Like, I'm your wife. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, of course. It's like they do care and they want to be. Well, even in the chat, though, Gat says my girlfriend doesn't give a fuck.
My wife. I tried to explain to her ComicsGate, War Campaign, everything all together, and her eyes just glaze over, and she's off somewhere else in her mind and stuff, because she's just it's like explaining I don't know how the moon works to someone who has no concept, who's blind and has no concept of the moon. So it's kind of like that. But see, I'm the same way with her. Like, she's in the healthcare profession, and to me that's just like whatever. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like, if they want to be involved, definitely fucking involve them. Even if their eyes glaze over, at least you're trying.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is the Narwhal lifestyle. We're giving marriage advice here on Arch City Comics.
I know, but it's important that health. Your health in being a comic book creator is so important. It's something people don't talk about. But that your health is kind of not only is it physical, it's your relationship has to stay intact. If you're miserable, you are not creating comics. That's like a real important thing.
No, then you're Tom King.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Or Scott Big Fatty? What's his name? I don't know.
Scott Kurtz.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite, Scott Kurtz.
Yeah, I'll tell you. That's important. Angela Profa says, Hunter's all proud. I went into Hunter's bedroom when he was away. Just Andrew's like, go find out if Hunter's got laundry piled up. So I went in there. He has a copy of Cyberfrog Blood Honey that I didn't give him. He put that up on his mirror.
Nice.
Like,
that's awesome.
That's my little boy. Yeah.
That means a lot. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got some show and tell. This is a first edition of Foreign Agent. This is just like a double issue 48 page. This was like 3 years ago. I printed 25 of these and I just handed a few out at conventions. Cut to 3 years later, the 190 page graphic novel is complete and I'm launching it on Friday. So everyone keep your eye out. And I'm getting everything ready. I got the video with some full animation. It's going to be cool. And on Friday, first day backers get a free zine/comic with the thing. So that's the best thing you can do to help me and yourself, is to back on the first.
Am I frozen or is Narwhal?
No,
he stuttered for a moment. Say that one more time. You kind of
You
stuttered.
said
there,
the best thing
Narwhal.
you can do for first time backers is, and then you stop. You froze.
Is back the first day if you're able to, because then it gives my campaign an awesome boost to start, and I'm giving free zine/comics to first day backers. That's kind of a little bit experimental. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about that prospect. But yeah, here's some art.
Hey, your General Grievous-me, dude. There you go.
Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ethan, I wanted to show you a cool storytelling thing. So this shot is a wide angle where her gun goes past the camera lens. So it's actually, you feel really close to it. And then this shot is a zoom angle where he's the same size as her, but because it's a zoom angle, his gun is really small. It doesn't get bigger as it approaches the viewer.
Yeah.
So contrasting those two camera angles makes her look way more threatening than him. So it's a little subconscious storytelling thing.
You fucking Orson Welles, you. Good for you.
See, Narwhalian. I
That's
told you.
Yeah, Narwhalian, man.
Yeah.
That is great. I love stuff like that. Narwhal, do you want to launch on my channel on Friday?
Oh, I would love to, man. I'm getting the campaign ready tonight, and yeah, we can discuss. I'll get your card for you, and we can launch on my channel. That'd be sweet on your channel.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. Yeah, we'll make that what am I doing Friday? I don't think I'm doing much on Friday. So let's get that done.
I got some full animation in the video, so I'm excited to show that too. Like 30 seconds almost. But yeah.
Your style is like stop motion animation, though. It's like whenever you put up a still or something, I can already see like 4 frames ahead of it because of how you draw and everything. I think that's one of the greatest things about your style of art is that ability to, even though it's a panel and it's not moving or anything, it looks like it's getting ready to move to the point to the reader can see where it's going. That's a true gift you have there, sir. And I've always said it, that you are one of the most underutilized talents in CG. I've been saying this for a year, so I'm glad you're finally getting your due.
Oh, thanks, man. And yeah, and thanks, Ethan, so much. Obviously, I don't know, Ethan, you help so many people. I don't you some of them you might forget, but you had me on because I do a Cyberfrog fan art. And you had me on kind of at a whim, right? I was one of the first people to kind of come on CG Live, and like you told.
Dope.
We're in internet trouble.
they were, I made like 5K in one night. I was thinking I might make, if I'm lucky, I'll make 5K on the whole campaign is what I thought. So I had to readjust my whole brain and how I thought about money.
How much did you end up making on the whole book? What did the campaign land at?
I think
26K.
Yeah.
So it's one of the ones that you helped, and it did really good, So yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you past that. I don't know what's going on. I think we're gonna get you to 35 this time. It seems like people who were making 25 before are making 35 now. And some of these smaller campaigns, I'm promoting Replicator by Robert Arnold, and
great dude. Yeah, great book too.
Great book, and I talk about it. It's it's clearly one of the smaller ones that's going to hit a smaller goal, but he's already at 188% of his flexible goal. I think this guy is going to land at like 20 grand, which is probably not what he was expecting, and that's so cool. Through the Woods too. Vinny T moving Vinny on. T. Every time this is what I like. I like that every time I click on these campaigns, they're always up on my taskbar here. But every time I click on one of them, they've advanced a little bit. They've moved forward, and I was pushing, trying to get Vinny into 5 figures. And now
Vinny deserves 5 figures, man. The amount of time and effort that he puts into his books, into his product, quality, not just art, but I mean, print quality and everything is astounding. Like there is no reason that dude should not be at 6 figs.
Yeah, I think he's going to get there, and I think everybody will. Everybody succeeds at a different level. It's just important that everybody succeeds better than the prior time, and that's the way it's going to be. Not everybody is going to hit 6 figures, but what did you do last time, and how can we improve on that? And that's got to be the attitude of ComicsGate. Through the Woods Collective right now, he's at 13,463. He's put out 5 projects on Indiegogo, and his total funds raised for all 5 projects, 39,547. That means that this one project is already 1/3 of his total for 5 projects. This guy's doing great.
Awesome.
So that's the kind of success that we want to see. as we go forward. And Narwhal, yeah, I see you, especially after the success of Earthbound. I see you, doing. You could maybe twice. I don't know. I don't want to give you any false hope. Let's get to 35,000. I think that would be
all right. Yeah, we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Earthbound. It's getting good word of mouth, and I think there'll be repeat backers because they're happy with the product. Like even they like the writing a lot, the pacing, that kind of stuff. So,
are you gonna let everyone know? I mean, you put hey, I'm launching my new book on Friday. You're gonna send that out to all your backers.
Yes, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Okay. Make sure that you do, and then. I'm going to do it for Wreck Planet, make sure that everybody knows that it's coming out. We'll just see how it is. But man, I'm really I'm excited. I'm excited to see your next book succeed.
Yeah. Thanks so much, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And you brought up a good point. The level of success is going to differ from person to person. You didn't get where you are today by just throwing this together yesterday. You're a 26-year veteran of the comic book industry at this point. That doesn't happen overnight. People shouldn't expect to see that kind of success overnight. One of the campaigns that I'm been closely watching is the Grim Reaper, and they launched last year right before Christmas, and I think they made about $1,500 on their first campaign. First time creators, a great team, husband and wife. The husband does the writing and the wife does the art. You can actually see her develop as you read the comic. Like you can see her art increase, and which I think is really cool. But they just launched their second book for Grim Reaper 2, and it's already at $1,300, and it's still got, I think, 50 days left in the campaign. So you can see that they're already increasing in their fan base and in their monetary value. So CG is not shrinking. It is the exact opposite. It is blowing up like you wouldn't even believe. Just like you said, Narwhal, I think, should expect to see at least 35 to 50K on his next book.
That's what I think. Without a doubt. Yeah, that's what I think too. We'll get him there. And everybody has to, again, everybody gets in there and we row together. We support each other. We're proud of each other. And no envy, no jealousy, none of that. None of this bitching.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of that, on my channel on Thursday, I'm doing a promo stream for Michael Derrick. His book's Grayscale. Have you seen that one yet, Caesar?
I was number 2 backer on that one.
Is it out already?
Yeah,
I've heard about it.
Yeah,
it's live. Yeah. It's a cool concept. The art's pretty darn pro and the writing's really good. Yeah, that's a good one to keep an eye on. That one, I hope we can get it to 5 figures. It's like at almost 2K right now. But yeah.
What's the guy's name?
Michael Derrick.
Oh, yeah.
He did
got the little cartoon face avatar.
Yeah.
He did the Abductables.
Yeah, he did Abductables with
so he's proven. Yeah, he's proven it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. It's like everybody who comes into CG with their first product, unless it is somebody like you, Ethan, or like Malin or somebody like that, you're an unknown quantity. But once you become a known quantity, you can expect it. It will, not saying that it'll get easier, but it will. You'll already have that fan base of like diehard fans, because ComicsGate fans are the craziest, most rabid fans I've ever seen in my life. Even like their own, I think sometimes CG fans are more nuts than like pro wrestling fans or sports teams fans because they are, as soon as you put something out or you just dangle something, they're there to buy it. They're there to grab it up. They're there to support it. They're there to do all that.
God bless them. Yeah, that's amazing. And I'll look into Grayscale, see if I like it. See what's up with that. But yeah, like that's so true. It's like you have to put something out that people kind of like, that people are interested in, and everybody kind of get in there and support it, and it's gonna do better. Gat Hanzo says CG fans are the best fans in the world. I cannot wait for Vestige to come out.
Oh,
this month, shipping this month.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm so ready for that book. Like it's like that. It's like when you learn, if you ever learn like tantric sex and you finally get to let go. That's what getting Vestige in my hand will be like, because I've been like, that book launched on 420. I've been promoting that book every day since the 20th of April of last year, and I'm ready to have it in my hands. I'm ready to see the Caesar cover. I'm ready to turn the pages. I'm ready to read the story that I've heard and seen some stuff about and read. It's like so anticipatory that I can't stand it. I mean, I can't even talk straight when I start talking about it. I'm so excited.
I love Gat. He's like, "Hail Caesar, it's coming, brother." Yes, I know. And Fanboy says we're like soccer hooligans, but more dangerous. All right.
I was just going to highlight that. Yeah, definitely like soccer hooligans. I don't know about more dangerous.
Nah, we're pussycats, but we are. Even still, I mean, people are excited about what's going on, and I see every day. First of all, here's how you know things are working out: fan art. We have the best fan artist, in our community. I see Simon.
Yeah, and that's super cool too.
Simon puts out more fan art than anybody I've ever seen in my life. I mean, that dude just pumps stuff out.
Yeah, we have fan artists that go pro, which is also a lot of fun. But I mean, yeah, like every day I see people like, here's my Cyberfrog collection, and a lot of pictures of the old stuff and the new stuff together. It just means a lot. When you're sitting at your desk all the time, just kind of working, refresh your Twitter and see that somebody's tagged you in a Cyberfrog post. It's I don't know, it's reassuring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. There must be like thousands of Cyberfrog fan pieces, and that's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that, like, everybody just jumps in and like they all want to show off their fan art. And even like with 3D Robin, where he did the game, we got to play the game last time that we did the show.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and
we played the Cyberfrog game.
That was a lot of fun just seeing it, And plus, he's like a computer nerd like I am, so it was finally nice to be able to talk to somebody who, like, I understood what they were talking about. It was nice. That was a good time. But everybody does that. It's everybody who does fan art, be it Cyberfrog or anything else. They're just all about it. Like, that's always been like, everybody always asks me, how do you do your promotions? And I'm like, promoting is the simplest thing you can do. You go and you find a book that you love, and you find books that you love, and then you just go out and tell people about it, and you tell them about it often, and you tell them about it loudly. You climb every mountain and ford every stream to be like, hey, do you want to see? Have you heard about our Lord and Savior Cyberfrog? That kind of deal. I mean, but that's the way you have to be to do it. But ComicsGate, once they figure it out, once those fans figure it out, you'll start seeing more people just start doing it over and over and over again, and it's great.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for ComicsGate CG convention in May 2021.
Yeah, that's the other thing that everybody's talking about right now.
Yeah, way to go, Ethan.
Thanks. I mean, it's like, it's just one more thing that I got to do. I've got good convention promoters that are in charge of this, and really my whole initial attitude was, let's keep it small. And somebody reminded me yesterday in the live stream. They said, don't forget, keep it simple, stupid. Yep. And I said, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's the thing. So I'm just like, well, what we can do is we can rent out a hotel ballroom, and we have to hire labor. We have to find food, and we have to a couple of things that we do. These convention promoters are talking to me about it. And I'm told that it's going to cost, like, at bare minimum, $20,000. Edwin says, say no to Florida, Art City Comics. Really? Why? I mean,
he's anti-Florida. He's Puerto Rican, so he's anti-Florida.
Yeah, it's far for him.
Okay. I mean, sorry about that, but we're going to hold the first one in Florida because just financially it's feasible. From there, if this is a success, then we can take it anywhere. But we're gonna aim small, and that's the thing. I'm watching all these documentaries on YouTube from people making fun of, internet conventions that didn't fucking work out at all. Like Rainforest was pretty funny. That's a furry convention in which the furries ran wild and destroyed the hotel, and
oh god,
just a disgusting nightmare.
I had an interesting run-in with some bronies like that at the convention here last year, at the comic convention here last year. It got a little crazy.
It'd be like a scene from The Shining where the kid sees through the door and the
Yep.
dude in the bear mask is giving the other guy a head.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Exactly it.
Yeah.
But so watching this stuff and I'm like worried about it. But I don't think we're sorry. I don't think that we're mentally ill weirdos. I think that we can actually. So these guys were expecting 5,000 people to come, and that the door tickets were going to pay the hotel. That these guys had it all fucking backwards and inside out. We're going to crowdfund it, and we're just going to say, look, the tickets are. I think we planned on $30 a day, except for Friday is $100. That's opening night. Preview night. So look, $160 for the weekend, and that buys you the whole weekend pass. And if we have all this money in advance, we know what we can buy, we know what we can afford. So we'll have a rough idea. Here's our hotel. The hotel that we're going to put the show on in has many ballrooms. We're going to rent one, but the bigger the thing gets, we can rent another room and just do it one big enormous ComicsGate artist alley. Everyone gets a free table as long as you're published, as long as you're real. You know what I mean? As long as you have a book to sell, you're going to get a table in Artist Alley while supplies last, while there's room. And then the more money we have, the more guests we can fly in. So initially, I'm going to come. The Jack Show is going to come, and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers is going to come. We're going to be the first 5 guests that are going to be there. It's at 5 or 6 guests. And then as time goes on, we'll add more and more people that will pay for travel accommodations, travel, hotel for all the big CGers. Like Jeremy Hambley hopefully will come. Nick Rekieta says that he's going to try to make it. It'll become more like Weeb Wars and Fandom Menace. It's going to naturally grow, or it's going to stay small. But we're telling ourselves to expect 500 attendees, and that was humble.
I would say that seems humble to me. That seems real small.
Yeah, so if we just think, let's think small so that we're not disappointed, and we budget this thing properly, and we are going to know, because we'll crowdfund it, we'll know how many people are coming way in advance of next year when we launch the thing. So we'll know what to expect. And I think that's the best way to do it. So it's going to grow organically depending on demand, depending on how much money we raise. And my ultimate thing is, we can get real guests there. We can get real celebrity guests there, and that'll blow the convention up even bigger. So if we have,
what about getting Sly, Sylvester Stallone?
Okay, so I'm not going to step on Zach's toes. Let's just, we're hearing some interesting stuff, and you're gonna, just watch the Expendables campaign a little bit. I'm not saying anything about Sylvester Stallone appearing anywhere, but what I'm saying is he's participating a little bit more than we expected him to. Which is
he's been actually promoting it on his Instagram, from what I understand and have seen. So that's a big thing, right?
He tweeted about it on Twitter, but he forgot to link the campaign.
I saw that. But I mean, this is the thing. Like, if we continue, if it's possible. It's a possibility. It's a remote possibility, but it is a possibility that maybe Sylvester Stallone would show up.
Now, your first guest, was Fabio, was it not?
Yeah. I want to get back. Well, Fabio is fairly. We looked up Fabio to see what his guarantee is, and you guys, just so that you understand how conventions work, it's like every celebrity has an agency that you can contact. They will appear and do autographs, but they have a guarantee, and the guarantee is, I'll be there for these 3 days, but my guarantee is, $25,000. I've got to make $25,000 now. I'm going to bring photos to sign. I'm going to sell autographs. I'm going to sell photographs of myself. And whatever, if I do not make $25,000 from the customers, you have to make up the difference. So, if we have somebody like William Shatner, who I think gets like 75 grand, that's his guarantee. We'd need to make sure that like his photos were selling, his autographs were selling. And we'd also need to make sure that we had $75,000 in a lockbox somewhere to pay him, just in case nobody shows up.
We would also have to tie up Roe and hide him somewhere, because that would be like his. That would be his. I was talking with him about this the other day, that in his Star Wars thing and or Star Trek thing, and he is a fan of James T. Kirk in a way that I was not originally aware of. And so it is we would definitely have to keep him. He would turn into a screaming girl. I think we would finally see.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. We'd see Roanna show up in a new and exciting way. I think.
Dear God. Guy Hanzo says not worth it, Caesar. Well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, if William Shatner were to show up, our show would blow up. Like we'd have more customers in the door. So, I mean, for us selling tickets, could we? It's something to consider. I mean, we would get normies in to see William Shatner. We get people who were not ComicsGate, just regular, comics fans would come in, or just regular Star Trek fans. So these are things that you want to think about.
Yeah, you want to broaden the audience as much as possible.
And once we get those people and we get Star Trek fans in, and what happens? They're milling about Artist Alley. They find they find Simon Sim-Pothier. They find all these other creators. It's organic. It's how to. Is it worth it? I mean, yeah, kind of, maybe. So you got to kind of think about those things.
I think it is. I think it is worth it, because I think we're at that point where we need to start reaching out and grabbing that normie crowd. And I feel like that's kind of what CG Jumpstart is about, is getting some more eyes a little bit outside of CG, focused inwards, and like, okay, these guys are actually bringing it. We got talent in this magazine like Peter Gilmore and Joe Ball and Sim and a slew of others. I think that's where we should be right now. Because, I mean, we've got a huge fan base. We've got a good, solid fan base within CG. Now it's about bringing more eyes into it. Who else can we grab? Grab every hand you can and pull them forward.
And I see some, it's like, Shay's in the chat right now. Shay Zombie, she's saying, I would definitely volunteer to help. Thank you. We would need people like you to volunteer to help. We make, volunteer staff shirts. People who didn't want to be paid would be really appreciated, considering, how we're putting this together. But I mean, staff members who want to, have little walkie-talkies and make sure everything's okay. Make sure
count me in.
Everyone's accommodated.
I'll wear my Art City shirt and just walk around and be like, okay, what do we got going here?
Mr. Biggins says no guests, just CG for the first one. Spend the money on the show. Well, that's a thought too. Yeah. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, they're like, can you raise $20,000? I'm like, yeah, easily. Blindfolded and standing on our head.
Yeah,
easily. In our sleep.
Easily.
And I started saying, I think we could raise $100,000 for this, and they were just like, oh, so that's good money for it to start a convention.
Yeah, the Gat says that he agrees with Mr. Biggins about the first one, and I kind of do too, because it gives it that like there's a lot of people in CG who've not only creators but fans who have, like, we've gone through the ringer once or twice with all this stuff that's going on, and it would be nice just to like have one thing that's just us, and then the next year, we can open the doors and let the wheels fall off the trailer no matter what happens. But just once, let's get us all together and just hang out and be like when it used to be with like when I was growing up, the big day was Wednesday when you go to the comic book store, but we would go to the grocery store because they had the spinner rack, and we would put all our money together and from doing our various odd jobs or whatever, and we would buy a comic book and we would trade comic books between the 4 or the 5 of us and just sit there and talk about it and just nerd out for a little while. That's the way that I think that it would kind of be like to me, just all of us just hanging out and talking about stuff, getting to meet each other and just having a good time. Just the first one be like that, and then everything else after that, come what may.
I'm with you. I agree, and so what we could do is, I mean, the fact that we're planning this so far ahead is great. So we'll have the money together for the first con. And by the time the con is here and we know the success level, if it's a success or a bomb, we can actually start planning. We can already have started planning for the second year, for 2022. And we can actually pre-sell tickets at a discounted rate to get the money ready for 2022 show. That's how to get these things rolling. And yeah, I mean, maybe the first show should just be, I listen to the, whatever people want to do is what people want to do, but we could definitely spend that money getting Narwhal in, getting, the comic skaters to come in, accommodate them, make them guests, And Narwhal, you'd have to come up with posters and exclusives to sell. I just want to make this. I want to make this a cash cow for everyone who comes. Everyone who's, if you're a creator, you got a table set up. Make sure you have stuff to sell. This should be just a wonderful chance for people to make some money and meet their fans and party. Was
there talk of a boxing ring so creators can box?
That was on Nick Ricada last night. You know.
Steve Dye actually earlier in the chat suggested jousting, shirtless jousting, I believe it was.
I think that's how we become one of the conventions that gets made fun of on YouTube.
That's too much like furries. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do weird shit.
No beer bongs up our assholes. You know.
Please behave yourselves a little bit. Or if you're going to do that, go ahead and do that in your hotel room. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Save it for the after party.
We'll be the Florida Man headline the next day. Florida Man, the convention goes wrong. Up his ass.
What people are going to have to understand also is that, with this convention, everybody's going to have their eyes on us. Just like everything that we do, everybody wants us to fail. Everybody's looking at it to fail. Oil wrestling, just a girl versus Mandy. Well, people would probably turn out for that. We could sell tickets.
We could sell like exclusive tickets for that, I think.
But like that's the thing. We want this to go off well, and
I think it's a positive step into reaffirming how real we really are.
Yeah, I agree. We're not inviting Gat though. Gat is not invited. We're leaving Gat out. Gat Hanzo. Just kidding. Gat's gonna get invited.
But his girlfriend can come though, just not him.
Yeah, Donald DeLay will come. We'll get the whole team. We'll get like everybody from Vestige to come out, and make T-shirts, make posters and stuff.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Can you imagine like official like ComicsGate merchandise?
Oh yeah,
ComicsGate T-shirts, ComicsGate strong.
Ethan, were you listening earlier where I had yesterday for the first time in like?
Oh.
Yeah, we got frozen troubles here.
ComicsGate. But out of the blue, a guy messaged me and he's like, where's you join ComicsGate? They're gross. They're blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, I thought we were past this phase. Because you can see, if you would have been watching this video, all we do is just talk about comics and doing stuff, like it's not really, I'm so desensitized to the any negative aspects of that people might perceive. And I think, we just got to keep pushing because they're like the kind of weird. The people who are overly sensitive to ComicsGate, they're kind of like weirdos, So
yeah, I think you're right about that. The tide's changing. The longer we stay together and stand up to this, the more assured we are of winning. And that's all I want to do. I just want to win. So we stand up to the nonsense, and it's sad that there's nonsense coming from both sides now. But it doesn't matter, It's just more foes to vanquish, more winning.
Mm-hmm. Just win all day because that's all you can do.
Yep.
I think it's a excuse me. I think it's a testament to like the fans of CG though that most of the time when stuff like this happens, like it'll build to a certain point and then it'll either explode, implode, or just slowly fizzle out. CG is kind of defying that trend though, because it's like it's getting bigger. Like everybody was saying at the end of last year, CG is going to die or whatever, and I was like, dude, I don't know what you're seeing, but I have like a list of 30 new projects that are coming out in the first 3 months of 2020, and I don't quite understand where you're getting the whole CG is dead thing from. And it's just like more books got funded than ever before last year. CG creators made a ton of money last year. It just keeps growing and growing.
They're getting it from their back holes.
Yes.
That's all it's wishful thinking. And it's like, it's so, I kind of tuned in on, one of the anti-CJers tonight. They're running a chat. It's a little hug box where they're trying to reassure themselves that Sylvester Stallone isn't ComicsGate, is he? He's not. I mean, he's not ComicsGate. So why do they, this is a failure. It's a failure. This is what they do. You know, it's sad. ComicsGate is fine. It's doing good. Let's see. I wanted to say I wanted to remark on this. Oh, Mr. Biggins says may not have enough money to fly people out. Orlando flights and hotels are cheap. Could piss people off if excluded. Well, I mean, look, we will. I think what we can do is we can make stretch goals packages of people, of guests, of comic skaters. Let me run this by you. So initially, the convention is going to be the Jack Show. It's going to be me, of course, and it's going to be Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Those are the people who are going to come out first. We're the first guests, and then from there we go. Okay, so if we reach $30,000. Then we're gonna fly out, and then we're gonna have 5 more guests in there. You say not 5. I don't know how many you can buy. $10,000. I mean, my God, not that many. But we'll figure it out. We'll say every time we reach a stretch goal, these guys are going to be invited to come as well. And it'll who gets to be a guest, who gets to come out is going to kind of be determined by how much money we raise.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I mean that's a solid way of looking at it for sure. That way you have your base. You're gonna get your clientele and your fans to come out for those, and the more people that come together, the bigger and better it's gonna be.
Well, I mean, cons work like that anyway because you'll have like those big panels that are the draws. Like I know at the Star Wars convention and stuff like that. What is it? Fridays. Or Saturday, Friday night and Saturday are usually like the big panels when they'll have Hamill or whatever, and they'll announce the new stuff, and those are always going to be your anchor draws and everything like that. And then you can just once you hit those to pay those, then the other money that comes in, you can like bring in other people to come in and talk about maybe going to this part of something or that part of something else. It could just that's easily doable though. I mean,
Biggins says, do not recommend. You will create resentment. I can fucking see that.
Well, and that kind of passion for drawing. He asks, Hail Brother, he says, who would pick him?
Yeah, me, I guess. And I mean, I'm putting that's the problem. I don't know. So maybe
there's a lot of thought that goes into this. I mean,
there's a lot of potential to make.
When people plan cons, no matter what con it is, these start planning a year plus in advance.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. Biggins, I'll talk to you about it. Biggins says, I'm telling you, Ethan, no. Yeah. Biggins, come in here and talk. Let's discuss it and tell me what you think we should do.
I want to hear Biggins' beautiful, deep voice.
I was going to say, can you throw Biggins the link that I gave you? Because I don't have his access.
Yeah. Let me see.
I might have to go in 5 or 10 minutes, guys, but I love talking to you. You're all so great. And Ethan, I'll hit you up tonight about the card and the campaign on Friday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Passion suggests fans maybe choose.
I don't know, man.
Maybe for 1 or something or 2. The people's choice.
A people's choice.
The people's champion.
No, we're not letting him on here.
Yeah, what if there could be a troll vote? We could let Anti-CG try and put someone in for them and see if they win.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. Yeah, I really don't know how to do it in a way that's not going to upset people. So
that's sort of, unfortunately, something that kind of seems to happen no matter what around you is some amount of
Steve Dye says, what about me, Jack, for fuck's sake?
Let's see. Hey, Biggins, I just sent you the link. So if you can pop in here, that'd be great. Let's hear what you have to say. He's right.
I thought Mr. Biggins was Miss Biggins with one of the masks that changes your voice.
You know what we could do? We could actually arrange it by like something that's not arbitrary, but like your Indiegogo earnings. I mean, something like that. Like we could arrange it like, who made the most on Indiegogo and assume that is the demand to meet that person. And
that's honestly a pretty good way to get so people can't complain.
I was going to say that would be a neutral way, I think, of choosing.
Maybe. I don't know. I can see that being a problem just in the fact that there's a trend that's going around where people are shorting their own campaigns to hit that 500 to get the algorithm to play right with them when they start their funding on Indiegogo to get on the front page. And so they're kind of short selling themselves on their campaign. Everybody needs to stop that, by the way. But it's like, because when people see a $500 or $1,000 goal, that's not the actual cost of the campaign. But people think that once they hit it, that they don't need to go back and help fund it or anything like that. And it's just, I'm starting to see it pop up more and more just because of how involved I am. Not involved, but what I do as far as.
No, you are 100% involved in it. I mean, you have your hand in nearly every single CG campaign that is out there.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't look at it that way, but I see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, like, when they do that, it shortchanges it. So you could have like one group or one creator who, this is where I see the problem. You'll have one creator who maybe has made a bunch of money because they didn't short sell themselves, but at the same time, they may not have as big a fan base. So you have that kind of thing going, that kind of dichotomy where you'll have this other huge fan base yelling, well, we're bigger than they are. It could just get ugly. I've seen it happen before.
Well, the undercutting the campaign has basically taken precedence over the flexible goal.
Yeah.
You set a $500 or $1,000 goal because you can hit it, where it might cost you $4,000 to $5,000 to produce said campaign, but you're hoping that the algorithm's going to work in your favor and you're going to get enough views on it that you're going to get funded no matter what. But you got your fingers crossed that you actually make enough to cover your ass on the campaign. Hail, Mr. Biggons! Congratulations, welcome.
Hail, thank you for having me on. Hail, Chad.
How you doing,
Hail,
sir?
ComicsGate. Hail, War Campaign. Love your book, Narwhal. We got it a few days ago. It's just beautiful.
Oh, thanks. That's awesome.
So if you're talking about 20 grand, about 50 by 50, I think we can get away with charging a little more. The comic books are at a premium. The convention can be at a premium too. Mm-hmm. If you did 50 by 500, that's 25 grand. If we're estimating 20 grand on the low side, how, in each, that's $5,000 each flight plus a hotel room is at least $1,000.
$5,000 a flight?
No. I'm saying if we're estimating 500, I think we can up it to 50 for the weekend.
Okay.
Instead of 30. So if we have 500 attendees, backers of the crowdfunded effort, that gives you 25 grand. So that's maybe five guests. The problem is you're going to have to draw a line, and anybody below that line is going to be resentful, and we can't have any more resentful. And I think understandably so. And it's different than a normal con, because in a normal con, you can't invite everybody, but we can have everybody, and we want to have everybody.
Well, okay. So, I mean, Ethan said that if you have a published book, if you are a actual ComicsGate creator, you get a free table. So right, it's not like you're excluding.
Of course, but it's a rare privilege to have your flight and board paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's I'm not talking about invitations, or I think the Artist Alley has to be first come first serve with proof of a physical book.
Yeah, I agree.
And with maybe a nominal fee, $50 or something, and that could be on the. Actually, you could make that crowdfunded as well.
I don't want to charge these guys anything. I don't want to do that. At least not for the first show.
Well, that's fine. I mean, this is all up to you. You're putting it on, but I can just see whoever is right below that line, the cutoff for travel and room and board is going to be resentful.
They're gonna be pissed. They're gonna feel like they're not. Well, what do you think about this idea of it? If it kind of being like, hey, who raised the most on their Indiegogo campaign?
Yeah, and that would make more sense, or some kind of fan vote.
Oh yeah.
A fan vote, or having some objective criteria. But people are going to quibble and argue over the objective criteria. That's going to create resentment. And the point could be made. I mean, in a group like this, the people with the highest campaigns are the people that need the flight and hotel paid for the least.
That's right.
So make it put a window.
That's always been the problem with these conventions, though. That has always been the problem with the conventions. Like, the people who need their stuff comped the least are the ones who get their stuff comped.
Sure, but this is not exact. Sure, that's totally true. But this is not a comic book convention. This is the ComicsGate convention, and this is a group that the fans pay a premium for these books. And the creators give free content to the fans in the form of YouTube and all these interactions. I mean, this is a generous group of fans and creators. And I think we need to count on that, and everybody pay for their own damn stuff. And then we're all equal.
Okay, that's one thought. But what about a lottery for creators? What about doing a lottery for
who enters the lottery?
Anybody who wants to enter the lottery.
And then you'd even get into a thing where you have certain fans that are almost more. I mean, Cecil. He's a creator, but he's not a pro. He's a fan that has a book out. War Campaign, whom I'm sure everybody wants to meet and party with. They're fans that all have day jobs that are putting out a book as a hobby. They're not pros, So then you get into these kind of weird distinctions where some of the
if
fans.
Anyone's a time bomb.
What? Sorry, go.
Narwhal's freezing up.
Yeah, he's grievousing.
Oh dang! Am I?
No,
back?
I wanted to highlight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have to go.
Okay.
I'm so.
Well, okay, real quick,
Can
I
you guys hear
wanted
me
to
now?
highlight
I'm
what
gonna go.
Soyber Frog
It's like-
said here.
But
Narwhal.
Yeah, dude.
can you hear me now?
It's that West Coast internet. It's like
I was just
it's
gonna
like
say,
Kansas internet.
if it's a time bomb for someone, if it's a
Every
time
time
bomb
he
for
tries to
someone
make
to
his
be
point.
resentful,
Yeah.
then we don't care about anyone who's like a time bomb to be resentful. We don't necessarily want them around us anyway. Does that make sense? I don't know.
That's a good point, that's a good point, but I think the person right below the line would have a case. They would say, look, I had a $25,000 book. This other person had a $25,000 book. Why the fuck didn't you invite me? Ethan's favoring, again, it's Ethan favoring this person over this person. And we have to get away from that look. And Ethan, you want to get away from that look.
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
But ComicsGate can't be, Ethan, picking people. And I know you agree with that. And that's already created some resentment, and I think it would create more. And Narwhal is right. Those people might be a little sensitive, but man, comics people are sensitive, and ComicsGaters are. And again, this is a great point that Ethan made. ComicsGaters are sensitive and kind of on the defensive a little bit because of why we're all here.
Why wouldn't it be or why wouldn't we want to just let the ComicsGaters decide who gets to be on the panel?
Yeah, see, this is where I say you leave it up to the people to vote.
Straw poll.
Straw poll, something like that, because it is about the fans. It's always been about the fans. That's the whole thing about ComicsGate. So why not let the fans decide who's there and who's not.
Well, but again, I'm not talking about who's there. I'm talking about
who's getting paid for.
Everybody's
yeah.
Everybody's there. We're all there.
No, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about vote for who you want the paid positions to be.
To receive, people are going to say, what the fuck?
Cool. Well, because then it comes, at that point, it comes down to your fan base size, essentially. Jack Straw said it earlier, backer amount, essentially.
Well, I think that's the fairest way to do it. Of all the things I've heard, first of all, I still don't understand why we have to pay for anybody to fly to Orlando and get 3 nights in a damn hotel. It's not that much money. But can you answer that, Ethan? Why do we have to have paid reimbursement for any guest travel and lodging?
It's traditionally the way conventions work. But we're breaking the mold. So I'm cool with just saying, yeah, let's start over from scratch and build a different kind of convention.
Yeah, I think we're going to have extra security. I put some thought into that. We might have to have ID and double ID and badge security and wristband, maybe even triple, because we want to know who's coming in and out of this thing. There's the other
thing, Biggons. The other thing about paying for people to come is it obligates them. If John Malin is being paid to be there, if his accommodations have been paid to be there, he needs to be where he's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like if everybody pays for their own way, there's no reason for them to do anything for the fans. I mean, it's like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to leave. I'm going to Disney World, or it's like that's the other kind of thing. Being accommodated obligates you to be at your table, be at the panel, be where you're supposed to be.
Sure, and but again, I think it's different. I think people are going to love being there, and I think, well, if that's true, I'll tell you who's going to be number one on the fan list to get there and be obligated to be there. It's going to be Richard C. motherfucking Meyer.
Hell yeah, and he will not go.
Yeah, he won't show up.
Yeah.
And
look, I mean, I asked him already. I said, people are going to want you to be there. We'll have security all around. Zach. I mean, he's not, he doesn't want to be around people. He's a little bit skittish around, strangers right now. Rightfully so.
Yeah, I was going to say, who could blame him?
Well, okay, chat, Ryan Miller and others. I'm not saying, look, first of all, there might not be the money to pay for that many travel and lodging for these guys. It's going to be probably $1,000 a pop for each one or more. Are we even talking appearance fees, Ethan?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Not yet anyway. If we can, we will. But we're proceeding as though we're going to raise $20,000. We're proceeding as though it's going to be a 3-day show in a hotel and 500 people are going to show up.
So we might not even have the money to begin with. And then, yes. And then number two, whoever is below that cutoff line is going to be resentful.
Those are good thoughts. So, I don't know. I don't really know how to do it. I mean, yeah, in traditional comic book conventions, there are people who are paid, they're accommodated, and they're working for the show. They're actually working at the show because, we flew you in, we put you up, sit at your table, sign autographs for people. And everybody else who doesn't get those accommodations is working for themselves. You get your table. And by the way, most people have to pay for their tables at normal conventions. And then you're sitting there because you're trying to make your money back plus a profit selling your own product. I think saying, look, you've got to get here yourself, but the table's going to be free. And as long as you have product, ComicsGaters are very generous. They're going to be here to shop, and you'll probably do pretty well. That's the thing. I'm worried that I'm not sure.
There's a couple things here I want to highlight. Wooster says this is why you have committees for these sorts of things. So that's something
Yeah,
you
but
could
who
think
chooses
about.
the committees? That's a whole other can of worms that you don't even want to
Yeah,
deal with, man.
That's
I mean,
good.
that's like who watches The Watchmen combined with something that's unholy and ungodly and can get ugly in a heartbeat. Believe me, you don't.
Sim brings up a good point. A ticket pre-sale. We actually used to do these for local, underground concerts, where if you sell a certain amount of tickets, almost the same as Indiegogo referrals.
Well, that's what this is. We're the crowdfunding effort is the pre-sale of tickets and other special packages.
No, but I'm saying like the artists themselves, not just the pre-sale, but the referral from said artist. So okay, let's use Sim as an example. So he uses his referral ID, and he shares a link out, and he gets X amount of backers from that referral. Does that give him precedence? If he gets we'll say 1,000 backers that come from Sim's referral, shouldn't that give him precedence over somebody else?
Well, I mean, yes. What about this? What about if it's too fucking much? But I mean, people could actually crowdfund their own appearance at the show. I mean, you could do a GoFundMe for Bring Simon Simpotier to.
Somebody said that earlier too. You set up a GoFundMe, to get said artist to the con.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would well.
Then it's in everybody's own hands.
That would certainly show you where how bad your fans want you there.
Exactly, it's true
in a very public way.
Yep. And then if it didn't work out, that is that's not something that is anybody playing favorites or anything like that. That's just it just didn't work out, and so I think that's actually not a bad idea. With the crowdfunding your own way there, because when you're counting on your fan base, and it gives you a pretty good idea, like you said, of what you got and what you don't got.
Yeah, how many people are actually there to see you? Compot has said a couple times now, take out the airfare and just do hotel fee. Yeah, and Cyborg has echoed that as well. Free hotel table, pay for your own airfare.
Why is that a thing? So we're just going to pay for one and not the flight. Okay. Well, it's all right. I mean, there might be some kind of discount that we could get. I was
going to say, that would cut some of the cost out of what we're trying to crowdfund, is if you took the airfare out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Ethan, if I'm not mistaken, when you when you get a convention, you get a room block, and that comes with some free rooms. Is that right or not?
Well, I've never done this, but I think that is kind of true. Yeah, or at least a block of discounted rooms.
Right, but Well, some positive things, some other ideas you floated, which were great ideas, Ethan, and come from all of your extensive and somewhat miserable con experiences, not having panels. I mean, we have panels all the time on YouTube, but have
that's true
these goofy events and contests and whiskey with Cecil and
that stuff's going to raise more money than anything else. When we're actually crowdfunding an exclusive whiskey or whiskey tasting event with Cecil, and you got to pay $400 to get in, and there are only like 12 tickets.
Who do I make the check out to?
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna get on board with that.
Yeah, and instead of panels, have events or contests or trivia. Get the fans involved. Have the fans.
You know what I always wanted to do? These panel discussions suck so bad at conventions. I want to put on game shows And you know
that would be great.
Okay, so we do Pictionary. We do like a Pictionary where people come up from the crowd and they have to go, hey, John Malin, draw this word out of the thing, or pull a slip of paper out. That's what you got to draw, and you've got 3 contestants out of the audience that bought raffle tickets to be a part. It's like The Price is Right. We call up your number, you get to come up here, and if you guess what John Malin is drawing for the other 2 guys, we have a prize for you.
That'd be amazing. I'd be all about that. That sounds like so much fun.
I'm liking Gat's this thing where he wants to play dodgeball. I want to play dodgeball too.
Oh, shit. Me too. That'd be great.
I definitely want to play dodgeball.
But I mean, look, what we do is we
I just want to shake some of your hands. That's all. I just want to shake some of your hands and have a drink with some of y'all.
Yeah, it's just, this is a party. It's a meetup. I don't mind. I don't mind.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Biggons.
Cons pay for guests to bring people. We don't have to do that. The people are going to be there because they want to meet Cecil. They want to meet John Malin. They want to meet all these guys. They want to meet Richard Meyer. They want to meet Workham.
Stop saying that. You know he's not coming.
Yeah, don't make promises we can't keep.
I'm going to drag his ass there in a fucking Hannibal Lecter straitjacket.
Oh, good. Yeah, all right.
That would actually be perfect.
I think you're probably the only person that could talk him into it, because I talked to him for a long time the other day about it. Like, what are you worried about? There's going to be security. Nobody's going to be around to bother you. And he's like, I just these people are crazy. I can't. I have stalkers. Oh man, just settle in. You're gonna be around people who love you. But he wouldn't listen. He was not having it, and we closed the conversation on I'm not coming. So I mean, if I can't do it, you're the only person who probably could.
I got over a year to work on him, so we're gonna get it done.
All right, good.
He's gonna whittle away at him like a stick.
Anybody tried to do anything stupid like that, the entire con would go after that person with a fury unknown and unseen to them up to this point in their miserable little lives. So I mean, he would be fine.
Nick's actually got a good point there. I mean, if anybody tried anything stupid at this con, they would have the entire con rain hellfire down.
And we would know who you fucking were. We would see your face.
Yes.
Unless you wore an Iron Man mask.
You would not under any circumstances be able to get away with anything. This wouldn't be in that particular instance something that would happen, because we police ourselves. I mean, and we do I think we do a pretty good job of it. So,
Yeah, the chat keeps talking about all the fun events that we could do, and there's more fun events than hours in the weekend. I mean, there's so many great ideas, and everybody wants to party with everybody. And
this could be an entire week-long event if we really wanted it to.
If you're gonna do that though, you gotta rent out like a cruise ship or something like that, and just put everybody on a boat, and we'll go out in international
see how big
waters.
this is getting.
We can skeet shoot off the deck.
We got it. Slow down. Back up. 500 people in a small hotel ballroom. That's what we got to aim for until we know better.
I think I know better though, man. You're undershooting it. You're undershooting it by a lot.
But we have a year and a half to find that out. Right now, we start out small because that's what we can promise. I promise you, we can get 500 people. I promise you.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah, you could guarantee that.
Just remember the lessons of the first Woodstock, when they thought that there was going to be a certain amount of people, and then what was it, like 1/18 of the country showed up? It could be that kind of madness.
Yeah, but we'll know that. See, that's the thing. We will know that because we're pre-selling tickets. So we'll have a very clear idea, and we'll adjust on the fly as we go. We'll say, look, can we get this room? And then we'll come back if it needs to get bigger. We might have an artist alley. We might not. We don't know yet. But for now, Mr. Biggons, the whole thing is we're going to have the Jack Show. We're going to have Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers appear. And, that's what we can promise right now. And then as it gets bigger, we've got to figure out how we get more people in, if we're paying for them, if we're paying for their hotel. Are we even gonna hold it at a hotel? Does it move to convention center at some point? These are all things that we got to learn as we're building this thing. But for the start, there has to be a reason to come, and the reason to come is we've got a handful of artists and YouTubers that are going to be there as guests. I don't mind paying my own way, but the problem is I don't know if I can make that guarantee for everyone else. Do those guys mind paying their own way? We'll ask them. If not, we'll pay. That'll be the thing. We'll see if it grows from there. There has to be an incentive for people to come, and that's a guest list.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We got a Black Star 13 in the chat. Says good thoughts as coordinator of CCSD and for E3. Planning a convention takes more than crowdfunding for people to attend. You need a clear idea from start to finish. So he sounds like he's got plenty experience. That's a she?
Yep, that's Skit's Comics wife, and she's been the coordinator for Comic-Con San Diego Comic-Con and E3 for like the past 2 or 3 years.
I'm sorry for misgendering you.
That's but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's the kind of thing that experience will tell you. I don't know if we need to have a clear idea of how big this thing's going to be right now. I think we need to just undersell what we're going to do, and then let it grow organically. By the time Christmas rolls around, we're going to have a goddamn pretty clear idea of what this convention's going to be, either big or small. But we got to start assuming that it's going to be small, because getting people to come to a new convention, I've been to too many conventions. I've been to a ton of them, and most of them, 90% of them, suck. So we've got to be ready for the suck. We got to be ready for this thing to just be.
Hey, I met you at a sucky convention.
Yeah,
it was great though.
I mean, it's good. It's good for these things to be intimate, I think, for the fans. But when it comes to hey, we're going to do this on a cruise ship.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, let's keep it small, and let's just start out with small expectations so that we don't make this into a disaster. Right from the outset. And after watching these internet aristocrat or internet historian videos about these bombed out internet conventions, I'm going to be very, very careful to keep my expectations low, to keep them small, and then just let them grow organically. Just make sure that whatever happens. But Mr. Biggins' concerns about people's feelings and creating more weird Preston Poulter characters, I don't want any more of that. So
yeah, I don't think you create another one like that.
Nobody wants any more of that.
But hey, everybody, thank you for having me on and throwing in my 2 cents. And
thanks for coming on, Mr. Biggins. I appreciate it.
And Mrs. Biggins just made some food that I'm going to go chow down on. And God bless everybody.
What is it? What'd she make? Real quick.
Whole roasted chicken. Mrs. Biggins, what'd you make? Roasted chicken and fried green beans with garlic.
Ooh.
All right, that's how to eat.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're dismissed.
Hail ComicsGate. Hail the chat.
Hail Mr. Biggins. Thank you so much for coming on, bro.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Nice to meet y'all too. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Those are good ideas.
Yeah.
This chat has blown up pretty big, I think. I see Adam Friended's in there now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Friended. He's a subscriber of Arch City Comics. We got I think 79 people watching right now. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Big thanks to you, Caesar, for popping on and gracing us with your presence. I do appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. It was fun to do while I was drawing. And guys, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Make sure that you hit subscribe, and then hit the thumbs up button, please.
Yes. Chimera in the chat says kick Adam.
Oh man.
Kick me? Me Adam or Adam Friended Adam? There's too many Adams. Adam posted in the chat too. I can't keep everybody straight. It's just too many. There's too many.
There can be only one.
There can be only one, and it's Adam as fuck. So y'all get out.
He said Adam Friended. Okay.
No, this has been absolutely great. Way more than I expected. Like I said, Caesar, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out and chatting with us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, because I missed. I was at work during the whole CG Con speak that you did on live stream, so I missed a whole bunch of that. So thank you for personally informing me. I appreciate it. And I did. I met you at a real shitty con in Maryland Heights, Missouri, and you were the MC. And it was still a damn good time.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll see you again later. You guys have a great night, and thanks, chat. Yep. Adios.
Thank you. Hail Caesar. And yes, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful episode of CG Jumpstart Between the Panels. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed to Tinfoil Hat Nick's channel for the wonderful Sunday conversations that he does. They are really, really great for the up-and-coming CG creators. And, well, we'll be back Saturday for another episode of the Weekend Woke Up. We've got Scott Payne, and we've got Michael Derrick, and we've got Black Angus Reviews that are going to be joining us. So it should be a delightful time. Until then, Hale, I hope you all have a great night, and thank you for tuning in.
See ya.